if you're just starting working out or you're looking for exercises to do to increase in strength, and these are the best exercises that you can do. And let's get it started off. We're going to do two things. We're going to do lower body and then upper body, and we're going to start with the lower body. So starting with our legs. So we've got our legs. Some of the best things that you can do are going to be squat. And now squat is going to be a couple of things. I really like front squats. And the reason I like front squats is because you're going to be front loaded, and so your abs are going to be more involved, and so it's going to take some pressure off your lower back. And also doing a front squat allows you to get lower in depth because of where the weight is aligned. So you're going to get more depth, which is going to allow you, again, I'm a big proponent in full range of motion going all the way down. And if you're not, then you're not. But then if you also have front squats and just good old fashioned back squats, there's a lot of studies out there and a lot of people who have just done strictly back squats, and they squatted every day and their quads grew to just a lot of size gains come from squats. You can do front squats or you can do back squats. And I combo front squats, and with instead of just doing normal back squats, I do box squats. So even throwing that on here is you can also do box squats. I'm a more of a believer, again, front squats, full range of motion. Box squats are a little separate and they target a slight different area of your legs. And so they're slightly more of an accessory for most people. And so if you're doing one squat, again, you can just do front squats. And again, you can also just do back squats, and they're going to be just fine. Because overall leg strength, squats are going to be the way to go. Now, you have, of course, deadlifts. Now, when you think about a deadlift, you have a couple different options, and your options are going to be sumo, conventional, and trap. This is kind of, to some people, it's fake, but realistically, you're just training a separate part of your leg. Conventional, understand the technique, and if you understand the technique, you could pull and start to pull a lot of weight, but this comes down to learning and understanding the technique. For most people, I like the trap bar, and this is my favorite and my best option. It's the easiest to throw people right into. If you can say, hey, go grab the handles, get your butt down, get your chest up, and stand up. For most people, it is the easiest one to understand, and it's the easiest one that they can do safely, which is why I always point people to the trap bar, because it's going to save people from just absolutely shredding up their back. If you try to go pull sumo and you throw a lot of weight in the bar and you have no clue what you're doing, you're going to throw your back out. You're going to hurt yourself. And the same with conventional. If you understand the technique and you learn how to hinge and you know how to brace yourself correctly, then you can go ahead and you can do the movement and you can understand how to do the movement. And I always have felt if you understand how to do conventional, and again, you hinge correctly and you brace correctly, you can understand and you can learn how to pull a lot of weight. And you can pull a lot more than what you weigh, and you can make it look really, really cool once you understand how to do it. Again, most things do come down to technique. And then once you understand the technique, then you amplify and ramp it up. So deadlifts, again, I'd say trap bar for most people. But if you want to, dive in deep and learn the technique, then conventional, you're probably going to pull a lot of weight. Sumo, people are going to give you, a bunch of crap for pulling sumo. So tread wisely. So those are going to be your main ways. And now if you want to do this without weight, we're going to go over here separately. If you do lunges, you can do these as walking lunges. You can do these as standing lunges. You can do these as plyo lunges. So the plyo lunges are the paratroopers, where like you're actually jumping and you're actually switching and changing your legs. If you're going to do walking lunges, if you just went to a track and you did lunges all the way around the track for 400 meters, your legs are going to be absolutely fried, and the strength gains from that are real. So you don't necessarily need, again, a squat. You don't need to throw a barbell on your back. You don't need to, pick up and grab a bunch of weight from the ground. You can just do lunges, and your legs are going to actually grow in size and also have strength gains. You don't necessarily need the weight to do that. So this is an option. If you don't have any weight, I would say do lunges rather than just doing this. I mean, even with squats, you don't have to put weight on your back. You can just do air squats or frog squats or jump squats. You don't need to throw the weight on to actually get the strength gains. So the weight is just the added bonus, added accessory, and you can do just regular squats without weight. Just do jump squats, just do air squats, just do regular squats, planted, sumo, all of that is going to work. But lunges, definitely a go-to if you don't have any weight. Now, let's get into our upper body. So upper, any type of press and other movement. And so if we look at the bench press, there are a lot of studies that are going to show you that the horizontal bench press is one of the best things to do in terms of chest size and strength gains. Now, everyone doesn't have access to a bench press necessarily, and the people that do go to a gym, you do have access. So boom, a lot of people have access to a bench if you have access to a gym, because that's the main thing that most gyms are going to have. Or you can use a Smith machine, or also use dumbbells. So there's a lot of different ways that you can do this movement. And again, there's a lot of studies showing that is going to be the overall best for gains. But if you want to supplement the bench press and you want to not do weighted things, just go ahead and do push-ups. You can do bench press or you can do push-ups, because the same way that you can do a bunch of bench press variations, you can do a lot of different push-up variations. You can change where your hand placement is. You can change where your feet are located, whether they're elevated up onto a box or even elevated up onto a wall. Multiple things that you can do there. Now, when you start to talk about some of the other things that you can do, now is where you start to break into, do you want to do weighted things or do you want to do non-weighted things? Because again, where I like to go with a non-weighted movement is I like to go into dips. So dips are going to be a great tricep, shoulder, chest, or lower chest, and the same for that front delt. That is something that if you can do a lot of dips and you can start to do then weighted dips are going to be a huge strength increase for you. Just doing regular dips, just regular body weight dips. Most people can't do 10 reps. If you can get to the point where you can do 10 reps and then you can do 15 reps and then you can do 20 reps, you're going to be very strong. Your triceps are going to be very defined and or just have overall strength. Just doing those in itself is good, yes, but let's add another variable to it. And one of the best things, pull-ups. Pull-ups are a great back movement, because the same way that you can do a push-up and you can change just a few variants and it's going to change, basically doing a push-up here versus doing a diamond push-up, you're going to change the dynamics and which muscles get involved. The same thing happens on a pull-up. You can do pull-ups where your hands are going to be a little bit closer together and it's going to change what muscles are being involved. The same way if you do them really wide. The same goes if you flip your hands around and do a chin-up, then your biceps are going to be more involved. And those just in of itself, where you don't necessarily need extra weight, just increasing the amount of reps that you do is going to be something. If you can get to the point where you can do 10, 12, 15, 20 pull-ups consistently, your back is going to be very strong. And that is going to be something that is, yes, a technique thing, but also an overall strength thing. I'm talking about actual pull-ups. I'm not talking about the CrossFit kip-ups or whatever things that they want to call pull-ups. I'm talking about just pull-ups, dead hang pull-ups, where you go down, your arms are locked, then you pull up and you go back down. That is what I'm talking about when I talk about pull-ups. Again, I'm not talking about the kip CrossFit pull-ups. You can do pull-ups, you can do dips, and you can do push-ups. That's all you really need to increase your upper body strength. And then you don't really need weight to increase your lower body strength, but you can add in weight. For squats, you can just do a ton of air squats. You can do jump squats. You don't have to add weight if you don't want to. Same way for deadlifts, like you can just pick up other random weight and that's going to work the same. But for most people, I recommend starting with a trap bar deadlift. And so if you want to know how to put any of these exercises into an actual workout, click over here or over here. I forget, and I'll see you with that workout, and I'll see you there.